Hi everyone, welcome to the Channel of Hope. We are in an election year, which means we are going to see an influx of ad campaigns. We're going to see debates, we're going to see podcast interviews, all that fun stuff. Biggest thing to remember is to do your due diligence and make sure you're finding out what each candidate is striving to accomplish, achieve. Do they have a plan in place, and what does that plan look like? It's kind of like a business plan. A person should be able to walk into a business and see this is where they are, this is what they are striving to do, and this is how they're going to do it. So we should expect the same from our candidates and our future leaders. So recently I heard something, a candidate wants to implement universal child care, and I can't speak to other states or countries, but in my own state, I would have a tough time getting on board with that, simply because the education system itself is actually declining and not doing so hot. So to put the government in charge of the child care as well, it doesn't really sit too well with me. I would need data. I would need a specific plan in place just to see, what do the numbers look like? What is it going to cost? What kind of timeline do they have to make that happen? So I'm not totally discounting it, but again, in my state right now, I would struggle with that. If someone in your state or country has an opinion and your state or country has that in place, let me know, share. I am open, but that's just one small example. We need to ask questions. Another governor, he was asked a question about his state specifically. It wasn't a very flattering question, but his response was actually to deflect the question and steer it over to other states in the country and basically say, oh, look at what they're doing. So that kind of deflection, you want to kind of be mindful of that, and that's kind of a red flag. Another candidate in another state, they basically want to, instead of incentivizing people to come to the state, he wants to de-incentivize them. Basically saying, no vacancies, and I don't know if that's for like tourism as well as full-time residents, or if it's just solely for residents. But things like that, we gotta ask questions, communicate, and the examples that I gave, those were both lefty and righty candidates, so I'm not trying to push or pedal any one direction. So just don't have blind loyalty, do your due diligence, and let's change the world together. Thank you. Bye.